Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on the channel. Today we take on my home race. We're just outside of Toronto and we're taking on the one and only race in Canada for this season here. Very excited for this one, as you can imagine. We finally won this race last season, so we know we're at least going out of this career mode winning at my home track, but I would love to win at it again. I mean, season after season we always dealt with some weird caution timing and it would screw us over and then we would lose the race somehow. This is a track we dominate season after season. We're always the fastest here, and I expect the exact same today as we jump straight through into qualifying. And we have a goal of a 125.93 on the board, so I was pretty confident we were going to be able to match that goal here now as we come up through the double right-handers. Now one of the most unique and my favorite parts of the entire calendar of the season, as of course you get out of that double right-hander, that very low speed uphill kind of bend all the way into this kind of very long curved high speed sweeping straightaway that heads into the final couple of corners. And it's a really straightforward road course, but it's a really fun road course that really promotes good racing as we come through the final couple of corners now in towards the penultimate left-hander. The goal of that 120 is probably going to be pretty easily beaten here now as we come through the final turn, and I felt like this was good enough for a top 5. We'll see if it sticks here to the line. It's going to be a 1:16.560 row 2 P3. Pretty happy with that. That means we'll be starting on the left side, unfortunately, however, as my teammate of Connor Zilish is on pole, joined by Chris Buescher on the front row, who needs a good day. Part-time drivers Austin Cindric and my 7-car teammate of Ryan Truex all up here in the top 5 as well. Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Byron, 300 guys right there together just outside the top 10. Ryan Preece down in 30th. That's an important driver to keep an eye on as Brent Cruz and Austin Hill, the 2 RCR drivers, line up the back of the grid. We had Amazon Prime action here this weekend as well, where Ty Dillon actually picked up the win over Jake Finch, Allgaier, Burton, and Daniel Suarez. Sam Mayer would round out the top 10. Corey Day actually in the field, rounding up the top 20, and Sage Karam there top 30, all the way at the bottom of the grid. Ryan Sieg and Matt DiBenedetto as we were ready to take on this Canadian Tire 350 here Sunday afternoon, and it's going to be a fun one for me. I'm hopeful we can get to the lead and just drive away. Hendrick Motorsports, they have found themselves in a bit of controversy this weekend. Half of their team sent to the back of the field. The 48 of Rajat Karuthi had unapproved body modifications during qualifying. He's kicked to the back of the field. Kyle Larson also failed technical inspection, and that's going to really allow us to extend this gap in the regular season championship and pretty well hopefully seal the deal here today, because all of these road courses, it's hard to pass for the AI, so good luck seeing the 48 or the 5 go forward, but never say never, as a green flag is out. Connor Zilish, the best road racer maybe even in the entire series, is still yet to win a road course in the career mode, and it already looks like maybe today's not going to be the day. Starts on pole, loses the lead immediately to Chris Buescher, and then here I come up the inside into turn 2. We'll take P2 away just like that. Myself and Buescher, we have been kind of the faces of road courses this season. Zilish is in the background getting engulfed in traffic. He is already dropped out of the top 5. Zilish from first to out of the top 5, and just a couple of corners. That 88 Red Bull Cadillac not looking very fast now, but as I was saying, myself, Buescher, we've been the face of road courses this season. We've been always coming out on top for the most part of the 17, of course, but Buescher yet to win this season. He is currently the last driver in the playoffs, hoping for no new winner. William Byron, contact with Chandler Smith, who's up in the top 10, goes around here. He gets it collected, but definitely going to be some damage on the front nose of that Exalta Cadillac number 24 for Hendrick Motorsports now, as we are right to the back of the 17 Fastenal Ford Mustang. Buescher, he's just hoping for no new winner today, because that would kick him out of the playoffs right now. Of course, we know Ryan Preece, of course, is in a situation of having to be in the top 30 to keep Ross Chastain out of the playoffs, and right now he comes into this race like 11 points or so above 30th position. So Ryan Preece is not in a safe position by any means to be in the top 30. Your Daytona 500 winner could still miss the playoffs, but following today, we've got, of course, 2 races left. Denver Speedway, which is a new track that came came to the schedule last season, and then we head to that regular season finale at Daytona. Very much looking forward to that one, and the potential just, drama and intensity that race is going to bring, as Chris Buescher doing a pretty good job early on in this race of kind of managing myself here and the pressure that I'm putting on him. We've got only 6 laps of racing, which means we can make it to the end of stage 1 without having to come into the pits now, as we are actually right up to the back of the 17 now as we come to the final 3 laps here of stage number 1. How about as well, I want to shout out Tyler Reddick. Actually, before we do that, here we go. Unexpected. There, the 17, a bit of a slow turn 1, left the door open, and immediately we go to just kind of putting some pressure on that 17 to straight to the lead of this race. But hold on. Buescher is going to fight back. We stay clear into the right-hander. A bit of a shallow entry is going to open up the middle of the corner and allow the 17 to show the nose as we slide a little bit. So we have to lift. And now Buescher right there again on us. But can he actually fight as we head down into the downhill? And then, of course, that uphill right bend. And no, he cannot fight back. We have cleared him. And now we will look to run away from Chris Buescher, as we do make a bit of a mistake. But we would hang on. But he was continuing to pressure me. But like I was saying, shout out to Tyler Reddick and everything that team has done. Trackhouse, of course, they have fallen off drastically. Tyler Reddick has just kind of shined like a diamond here for that team, and he has been, of course, just completely carrying Trackhouse, and of course this season it's just not gone the way that team wants as a whole. But Tyler Reddick is going to very likely be in the playoffs here come 2 episodes time, and the car he left, Chastain, now in the 45, is on verge of missing the playoffs. And what's been a solid season, it's just, I guess, not been good enough. And of course, the win in urine system is what has the chance to knock Chastain out of the playoffs. We come to the final lap though, and we got the lead and we started opening up the gap to the field. And as we come through the final couple of corners, we do have the field light on, but there's just enough fuel to get us to the end of this first and opening stage. As we round the first or final turn, Zane Smith actually has had some mechanical issues. He's in the pit lane, done for the day. We take stage 1 over the 17. Gibbs there, your Brickyard 400 winner in the top 3. Blaney in the top 5 as well. Cindric in 5th. As you see, Bell, Briscoe, Truex, so 2 part-time drivers in the top 10. Chase Elliott has gotten into the top 10 as well. Alex Bowman in that 10th and final points paying position. We're not making any adjustments, of course. We're going to take tires, we're going to take fuel. We'll get ready to go green here for stage 2. Now, the control car, but of course, lining up into turn 1, we're going to be outside. So this is going to make us a little bit vulnerable, and Ryan Blaney's going to pounce on that vulnerability. 3 wide into turn 1 for the lead here in Canada. And as we go a little bit wide, use up the grass. I mean, no harm, no foul right there, as Buescher's going to draw back. We're going to try and slip through. Here comes Ty Gibbs. He's under pressure from Chase Briscoe, who's into the conversation. Briscoe's going to have to win to make the playoffs. He's about 100 points out of the playoffs right now. You're not going to make that up in 3 races now, as Ryan Blaney is clear for the lead. Ty Gibbs continues to be strong in the summer stretch of the season as well. Finally snapped that long winless streak last episode in the Brickyard 400, and he looks to get hot at the right time of the season. As same for Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney's been so strong this season, hasn't quite found victory lane. He's a top 10 point driver, but like I said, he has not found victory lane, and that is going to be key, of course, to success come the playoffs here in a couple of episodes now, as we pull out to the left side, and Blaney is not really going to put up much of a fight. We clear him, we'll take over the lead once again here. We got 9 laps of racing here in stage 2. As we go a little bit wide and deep, Blaney's going to say thank you very much. He retakes the lead as he goes wide in the penultimate corner. Now we fight back alongside this Advanced Auto Parts Toyota Camry, and around the outside, can we complete the pass? Not quite now. Blaney back clear again. He leads the opening lap. Gibbs 4th, Briscoe in 5th, Buescher right there on my rear bumper. But as we come through halfway through the next lap, Gibbs is past the 17, and Briscoe's trying to pass his teammate, of course, Buescher as well, as we're right to the back of the 23 once again. The same straightaway where we made the move last time. This time I'm going to wait to make the move on Blaney. Well, it didn't matter. The caution's out, so we're all going to stay out. Gio Ruggiero actually up there into the top 10 as well. Great run for him. I couldn't find the reason for caution on this one. Road courses, it's really hard sometimes because of how spread out everything is. So everyone would stay out, and we would get ready to go back racing. So Ryan Blaney leads over myself. with now 5 laps to go. We've got an estimated 4 laps of fuel, so that's going to make things interesting. Busher trying to force the nose. He actually hit the wall. Busher just hit the inside wall behind us, as we're going to go around the right side of Ryan Blaney. Now we're on the outside. He's got the preferred lane. Now he's going to roll back even as we head through into the next right-hander. Gibbs coming through into the conversation as well. That allows me to clear, but once again, a shallow entry opens up the door for the 23 Advanced Auto Parts Camry to fight back here now as we head towards this little short shoot with the downhill uphill bend, but we clear the 23 and we retake the lead here in Canada. So now the question is, do we have enough fuel to get to the end of the stage? Now, as I completely screw that up, but fortunately we do stay clear. Now, it's an interesting situation. At road courses, you're saving more fuel than any other type of track in NASCAR Heat 5. So, although we went green with 5 laps to go in Stage 2 and we had 4 laps of fuel, we have already gotten to a point where we might be able to make it to the end of the stage, but there's going to be a door opening up of potential for some drivers to pit with a couple of laps to go and stay out at the end of Stage 2, therefore shuffling someone like me down the order a little bit. So we do have to keep in mind that is an option. Do we pit now, give up the stage win, but guarantee the lead for Stage 3 and not have to worry about passing traffic? Well, you of course have to come in before 2 laps to go. I'm going to stay out. It looks like Ryan Blaney pitting? I believe he might be. Yes, Ryan Blaney has come in. Blaney's going to be one of the ones that pits. So Chase Briscoe moves through into P2 with 2 laps to go here in Stage 2, as now we actually go into fuel save mode. So I would start fuel saving just to make sure I was going to make it to the end of Stage 2, and I was giving up quite a bit of time to the 98, but I wasn't really concerned because I knew I was probably saving enough over the course of this penultimate lap that I would be able to get to the end of the stage pushing on the final lap. But definitely just taking it easy here, shifting up the gears a little bit earlier than usual, and we're going to lift a little bit earlier than usual, kind of let things roll if we need, and just be really careful on the shifting. You see I'm still in 4th gear at this point, just letting it roll, and then we'll go down into 3rd gear when we absolutely need to. But right now I'm just going to hang on to the 4th gear. Now we'll go down to 3rd. You can see Briscoe putting on some pressure now as we're going to come to the line to start the final lap of the stage, and at this point we look like we're going to make it. So estimated fuel now hits 0 laps, so we could run out at any time. So we didn't quite save entirely enough, or have we? We still might make it here. Now I'm hustling this car just because I know I could run out of fuel at any moment, and we need to have as much speed as possible. But it looks like it's going to happen. I think Briscoe's pitting as we're coming to the green-white checkered. I don't know how that's going to work, but we're going to come to the line, and we'll take Stage 2. But with the way the game is, I mean, that's completely illegal, as Elliott will take 2nd over Busher. But what the 98 just did was illegal, but the game's going to allow it. So he can service his car, and he's going to be able to start Stage 3 in front of me. And Ryan Blaney and Alex Bowman, they actually decide to pit again. So Purdy, Chastain, Ruggiero, Bell, and Briscoe all stay out. And that means we will start Stage 3 from P6. How about the 5 of Kyle Larson? Technical inspection issues. He is up in the top 10 now, as here comes the 17 of Chris Buescher back up my inside. Now, who's got the speed to be up here? I don't know what we're going to see out of the 45 of Chastain. He's been pretty quiet all day. Christopher Bell, we're 3 wide in the middle now, forcing it here on the 15 of Ruggiero. You got the 00 of Chase Purdy to my left here as we roll through the right-hander. But I think the cards really are in our favor in this situation. Although we've got to pass some cars now, we are still in the top 5, and Chase Briscoe is up there putting some pressure on Christopher Bell. Bell looking for his 3rd win of the season. He's won a road course race this season. He stole that win in Road America, of course. Now as we've passed Chastain very easily, that 45 doesn't have the speed he needs. He needs to be still points racing to try and get himself into the playoffs, because if Ryan Preece is in the top 30, Chastain will not make the playoffs as it stands because of the win and you're in format. As now here we are bringing the fight to the 98 of Chase Briscoe, and this seems to be our biggest competition as this race continues to develop, but we've already got less than 15 laps to go. Briscoe stays clear for now as Christopher Bell controls, but we're going to continue to fight this Mahindra Tractor's number 98 Ford Mustang as we head to lap 23 into the double right-handers. Briscoe up the inside of the 20 of Christopher Bell, and Chris Buescher's right there with us. Buescher, of course, I mean, he would love to see his team win. They are teammates, the 98 and the 17, but of course Busher knows if the 98 wins today, he's out of the playoffs in the 17 team, so he does not really want to see his teammate win this race, of course, as we have now solidified ourselves in the second position, and Busher's actually dropped back. Bell's hanging on to P3, Larson's up to 4th, and now it's my job to get myself in front of the 98 before any potential cautions or pit stops, of course, arise, because we do have to pit here soon, and we might be able to stretch this out to make this a one-stop race. It's going to be close, but as of right now, yeah, I mean, the goal here is to kind of stretch this out if we need to. 11 laps to go. I don't know. We're going to wait and see as Briscoe runs a little bit wide in turn 1, and now we're right to the back of that Mahindra Tractor's Ford as we continue to follow him and pretty well stalk him now as we come through to the long straightaway. This could be the moment right here where we take the lead here in Canada as we continue on side by side up through the long straight here towards that long sweeping right-hander. We should be able to clear him by then as we head under the bridge, and he's right there at the left rear. He's not going to make this quite easy. We slide across the nose, and Briscoe's going to fight back near contact right there as we come through the second to last corner, clear of the 98, back to the lead at home here in Canada at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park as we continue on to try and run away with the final 10 laps underway. And at this point, there's really not much of a chance to make it on fuel, I don't think, unless we can stretch it just a little bit further now as the fuel light has come on with 9 laps to go. So we're going to be pitting coming to 8 laps to go in this race. We cannot go any further. I cannot go an extra lap. So if we pit now and we get 1 caution, we'll guarantee be able to make it to the end of this race. So I think that's kind of the expectation here. We always get a caution in the final stage here at Motorsport. So we're going to come into the pits and we speed. We speed into the pits. We're going to take a speeding penalty, which will add an additional 15 seconds onto our pit stop. And that changes everything. It was by about 5 or 6 miles per hour we sped by, and instead of a 15.2, it turns into a 30.2 second pit stop. There goes Briscoe, Gibbs, Jesse Love, everybody driving past us here, and we drop down outside of the top 10. The pit cycle does not run its course. I think we're going to be still like a 8th or 9th once this cycles through, even with the 15-second penalty. That tells you how far we have driven away from the majority of the grid, and we're immediately fighting back through because we have to go 100%, not, of course, guaranteeing any cautions. If we get a caution, this is going to bring us right back into it. I'm still confident we can win, but without a caution, I don't know if we can run down that 98 of Chase Briscoe. So we've completely ruined our own race here if this stays green. Briscoe is at the end of the long straightaway just as I'm starting. I'm not going to be able to make that up in 6 laps, but it doesn't matter because the caution comes out, and it's actually for the number 5 of Kyle Larson, who's got smoke pouring out of the back of the 5 car up ahead. You can see it in the distance. Larson with engine issues, and that pretty well seals the deal for the regular season championship that will go into our favor. Now, we're going to make a questionable call. I'm staying out. We are watching everybody pit. I just stayed out, and we're going to get ready to lead this field back to green. We are in a position we can take risks. We've got 3 laps to go, and I wasn't 100% confident that even putting on tires that I would be able to drive through the field in 3 laps there through the field. We don't have to pass like 6 cars to get to Briscoe, but we've been in position before where we've had to pass traffic at the end of a race here in Canada, and it never worked out. So I took a risk here. No tires, no fuel. We stay out, and we hope for the best. Now, do we have enough in this number 8 Target Flames Cadillac to hang on? I think the answer is yes. We clear the 98 on the exit of the corner and back to the lead here on home soil in Canada. 3 wins on the season. Both myself and Kyle Larson matched at the top of the wins column, and we look to extend that lead to 4 wins here today with just a few races left in the regular season. Ryan Blaney back into the top 3 as well as we come to 2 laps to go, and Briscoe is still with me. Of course, they've got fresher tires. They are not going to be able to just let me drive away. This is not going to be like what we've seen in stage 1 and 2, where we do put a gap on everybody. The 98 has been strong all race long, but does he have enough with that fresh tire advantage to be able to get back out in front? Briscoe's in a must-win situation to make the playoffs, and he knows what it's going to take here today in Canada if he wants to get to victory lane. The first time all season he has even fought for a win, but we open up the gap here and through the double right-handers now. But as we come to the final lap, Briscoe closes a little bit again. This is not going to be job done easy now, as Ryan Blaney is continuing to pressure that 98 as well as we come through the first few turns on this white flag. And we won last season here in Canada, very different scenario, and now we look to, have the win in our hands and throw it away with a speeding penalty, and we look to steal it back with a strategy call on the final restart now. But Briscoe is not going away. As long as we don't make a mistake, we should be able to hang on to victory here as we come through downhill, uphill, double right-handers get slowed down. This is an easy corner to screw up. We get through there well and smooth. One more long straightaway to go, and it should be easy to the checkered now as we head down through the right-hander. 2 corners remain. Briscoe not close enough. We're gonna do it 2 seasons in a row. It took us so many attempts to make it happen, and now we're gonna go back-to-back at home. Win number 4 on the season, and it's in Canada as we cross the stripe to take the checkered flag. And another 5 playoff points right there, but we swept all the stages. 7 playoff points on the day, and that gives us an extra 7 points to start the playoffs as I hit the wall actually on my burnout, so that was not pretty. I can't remember the last time I've done that, but we get to burn it down nonetheless at home here in this Canadian Tire 350 as we now take the commanding lead in the regular season championship once again, and in the playoffs of course as well. And everything is really looking at this number 8 team in terms of winning a championship again this season, as Hocevar and Byron round out the top 10. Where did Ryan Priest finish? That's important. Larson ends up 19th, but Ryan Priest ends up 25th, which is probably enough to keep him and maybe even gain points on the top 30. So Rajah Caruth actually ends up having a DNF as well. And looking at the playoff grid, Ross Chastain with 2 races left in the regular season is 37 points out of the playoffs behind Corey Heim. Surprisingly, can you imagine if Corey Heim misses the playoffs? That would be crazy. Ryan Priest is going to be still in that top 30, and it's not by much. We'll take a look here before we end the episode. He's 28th, and he's in by, like 21 points right now, over 31st at least. So, my goodness, it's going to be close. 2 races left. We'll see if we can hang on as we look to gain more playoff points. We head to Denver Speedway next episode. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.